A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus said to the disciples, "Do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have come not to abolish, but to fulfill. For truly I tell you, until heaven and earth pass away, not one letter, not one stroke of a letter will pass from the law until all is accomplished. Therefore, whoever breaks one of the least of these commandments and teaches others to do the same will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. And whoever does them and teaches them will be called great in the kingdom of heaven." The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. So, brothers and sisters, did you ever think about laws and why they're given to us, but also why we fulfill them? So they're given to us, especially the civil laws, at times to just keep order, it seems. But if we look deep down to why they're given, or the reasoning behind it, it's not perfect in civil law, but it is mainly to keep peace, to keep calm, to keep us all safe at the end of the day. Even more so, we see this with street laws or laws of driving. That if I keep the rules of the road, I will be safe. But we know very well that there are many drivers, sadly, that don't speed not to keep others safe or themselves, but often don't speed because if they speed, they're worried they're going to get a ticket. And as much as, sure, the result is the same, one shows a great immaturity. See, if we follow the rules of the road just because we're afraid of paying a fine or a ticket, well then we're immature drivers. Immature drivers that don't realize that the tools we're using, the car, the motorcycle, is a tool that can do good, but also a tool that can do a lot of damage and harm to myself and to others. And a mature way of looking at the rules is, yes, maybe I'm late. Yes, maybe I feel very confident to speed right now. But I won't be immature and selfish. But I'll think of others to keep everybody safe. And the same thing goes for the law that God gave us. Jesus told us about these laws not because he realized, oh wait, at the end of times I'll have to be judged and I'll have to remind them the laws, so I might as well do it now. No. He reminded us about the laws and that they have not changed for two reasons. One, because he realized that we often have that tendency of saying, no, with Jesus everything is new, I can throw away the Old Testament. And it's not true. Because Jesus builds on everything that was in the Old Testament and fulfills it. But second, because the same love that is at work in God the Father sending his Son to teach us, to save us, to show the Father's love, is the same love at work in giving us the law. Because God gave us the law and it works on us as guardrails on our road of life. Guardrails serve us on the road to keep us safe and not let us fall off into the ditch or down a mountain. And the same thing on the road of life. God's guardrails keep us safe and intact, and they're put there out of love. But they only make sense if I make them my natural way of life. Nobody tests in their car guardrails to see how strong they are. We could, but we don't. And the same thing goes for God's law. It'll only become a fruit of love and not something that holds me and takes away my freedom if I realize they're given out of love to make me better, to make me safe, to make sure I get to heaven. And they're an instruction to do that. Kind of like an old grandma's recipe. Maybe the first time I'm doing it, I kind of feel tied to doing it because it's exactly how grandma wanted, or it's only going to come out if I follow it. But after a while, when I see that this recipe works and it's the delicious cake that Grandma always made, I make the recipe my own. And even though I remember I received it from Grandma, I know that the fruit of it is a delicious cake, and that's why everything that she put in there is so important. Ask yourself, why do you follow laws? And what you need to do in your maturing to see love in each one of them. Have a blessed Wednesday, and God bless.